Hello and welcome to this video guide, which will talk you through the training exercise for the Accessing Continuity study. This video guide is designed for those of you that will be measuring your continuity of care using EMIS. We do have another video guide for those of you using System 1. Firstly, a big thank you for registering to take part in the Accessing Continuity study. We really appreciate your time, and we hope that this training video will help make things as straightforward as possible. So before you go on to measure your continuity of care in your practice, we want you to complete a training exercise to help familiarise yourself with the Bristol Continuity of Care calculator. Using the Bristol Continuity of Care calculator to measure the continuity of care in your practice involves three key steps. The first is to download all of the tools that you require, and we have provided these all for you. The second is to run a search of your appointment data in EMIS. But for the purposes of the training exercise, we have provided you with some mock appointment data to use. And the third step is to import this data into the Bristol Continuity of Care calculator and run the tool to give you your continuity scores. Now, once you've registered for the study, you should have received this email, which is inviting you to start the training exercise. Now, you do need to complete the training exercise before proceeding to the data collection process, just so that we can be sure that you're using the Bristol Continuity of Care calculator correctly. So, the first step is to download the data collection tools that you'll need to measure your continuity of care, both in the training exercise and in the true data collection process. So you'll need to navigate to this email and then to the section Download the Data Collection Tools. Now, I suggest that you go to your Documents folder first and create a folder entitled Continuity, where you can store all of the documents. Now navigate back to the email and then find the link that's entitled Accessing Continuity EMIS. Click on that link and then click Download. That should then download a zip folder, which you can open up. Then click once on the folder. Don't open it, just highlight it. And then click this Extract All button. Sometimes you might be able to access that by right-clicking on the folder as well. Click Browse and find that continuity folder in your documents. Select that folder and then click Extract. It might take just a minute or so for that to happen. These are large files in the Accessing Continuity EMIS folder, so just be patient while that extracts into your continuity folder. Great, then it should open up. So you should be able to now go to your documents, to your continuity folder, and then open up the files within that folder. So these are the four key documents that you need to measure your continuity of care and to complete the training exercise. So you should have a user guide. You should have the continuity calculator itself. You should have the search, which will enable you to extract your appointment data from EMIS. And then you should have some training data, so some dummy consultation data that we've given you to run the training exercise. I would start by opening the user guide and just having a look at that. I would ideally start by reading that from top to bottom so that you can get a really good understanding of what's going to be involved. There's a little bit of an introduction to the calculator, some key information about the sort of data it's going to be measuring, and then a stepwise approach to running the calculator, including some guidance for the training exercise. Then once you've read the user guide and you're ready to get started, open the continuity of care calculator just by double clicking. Now this is a large file and it will take a couple of minutes to open, so just be patient. When you first open the Bristol Continuity of Care calculator, the key things are to first click Enable Editing. And the second thing is just to make sure autosave is turned off in the top left-hand corner. And that's just so that you've got a blank version of the continuity of care calculator to run every time you want to measure your continuity scores. The other option is just to save a clean version in a separate folder elsewhere. So on this first screen, you can see some basic instructions on how to run the calculator. And then you've got two tabs at the bottom. The Input tab, which is where we're going to insert our appointment data, and the Results tab, which is where you're going to see your continuity scores. At this point, navigate back to your continuity folder, and we're going to open up the training data just by double-clicking that file. Here is the training data. Now, in the real data collection process, this would be appointment data from your own practice, which you've exported from EMIS using the search that we've provided. Although for the training exercise, we're going to skip that step and provide you with some data to use. This is all totally anonymized and made up data. So what you need to do is navigate to the cell A1 in the top left-hand corner and simultaneously click the buttons on your keyboard Control, Shift, and End. That should highlight all the data. You can then click Control C to copy the data. And then I want you to navigate back to the continuity calculator, to the Input tab, click on the cell where it says Paste Data here, and click Control V to paste the data. Just give it a second to register that. The key thing at this stage is to click the Refresh All button so that the calculator can run its continuity measurement. Now, you may find that in the top banner up here, or you may find that under the Data tab just here. Click Refresh All, and then click View Results. Navigate to this results screen where at this stage you will see the continuity calculations created for the training data. So you get 4 scores, one for the Bice-Boxerman continuity of care, one for the usual provider of continuity, one for the St Leonard's Index of continuity of care, and the modified SLICs. You should have 4 scores. I've purposely not shown the results here so that you can do the training exercise yourself. At this stage, the key thing is to take a screenshot of your results, and we just want to get a screenshot of the box outlined in blue. If you need to get this all on one screen, you can navigate to the bottom right-hand corner and just zoom out a little bit, and then take a screenshot of everything contained in this blue square so that you can upload a screenshot of your results as well as the results themselves. To take a screenshot, you just simultaneously press the Windows logo key, Shift and S, and then you should be able to snip the exact part of the screen that you'd like to contain in your screenshot, and that should save to your files. You can then navigate to the link in your email. Where you can input your scores. So follow this link and just scroll down to insert the scores exactly as you see them. Make sure to also insert the number of patients that were entered into the search and the mean GP consultation rate, which you can get from the results screen on the calculator, and then click this link to upload the screenshot that you took. Click Submit, and then you've completed the training exercise.